Welcome back.
Episode 4.
Episode 4.
How cool is that? If you are here and you have been here since episode 1, you have officially listened to us for a month, and I love that for you.
That is a very long time, and wow, you should get paid.
I agree.
We should.
Hey, honestly, if Dr. Pepper just wants to send me Dr. Pepper for life, I'd be fine with
Diet
that.
Coke in here, please. Please. I'm really excited about this episode. Kayla and I were trying to film as much content as she's still here with me. Not when you're watching this. Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows at this point?
And I was like, hold on. I want us to each rank based off our predictions, the Eastern and the Western Conference. I'm very excited about it. And
I'm not, because it's hard.
it was way harder than I expected it to be. At first, I'm like, oh, this is so fun and silly. We can't wait for us to do this. And then I was doing it and I was like, ouch, I don't like this at all.
It was very hard.
So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm excited because we're just going to kind of talk about our thoughts, our own opinions, and they might be bad. I'm pretty sure some of them are. And that's okay because this is just for funsies. So.
Yeah, and I need you guys to know right now, I know that my Western Conference and maybe my Eastern Conference list probably makes me look like I have a below average IQ.
Yes,
I am a smart girl. This was just really hard. I just there's so much. I feel like the Western Conference has just gotten better.
Even as if it wasn't already the better conference.
Yeah.
For me, usually if I heard someone was a 13 seed, I'm like, ew, they suck. But now, in my opinion,
I'm like, is the 13 and the 6 seed interchangeable?
Yes.
Literally, I'm like, could they be the same thing?
Wait, oh my goodness. Should I switch my 10th seed and my 5th
yes,
seed?
Literally.
The Eastern Conference, we do not feel the same about. Well, some teams at least are more competitive with the Celtics.
Yeah.
About the bottom 6-7 teams of the Eastern Conference, I just sat here and kind of threw some things on the board because
it's rough.
They're tanking hard.
Tanking for Wemby.
So, and you know what? The Spurs tanked and look what it got them.
Oh man.
And it's big. So
they did good.
That's what we're going to talk about today. Should we start with the Western or the Eastern Conference?
Do you want to
Marie?
Let's do Western, because I want to talk about the Western Conference, because I think last year, everyone in the Western Conference kind of got a taste of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
They got a taste of how hard it is to be in the Western Conference. It's a very competitive. You have tons of all-stars right now in the Western Conference, tons of awesome teams. And as you guys probably saw, if you're NBA fans, I mean, literally the 4 through 11 or 12 seed last year were flopping every day. I mean, to the point where the last day of the regular season, there were 7 teams that had no idea where they were going to be on the standings.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Yeah. And so I feel like a lot of the Western Conference teams have worked really hard to get better, to continue to compete. And the teams that were already really good also got better. And so that makes it hard. Do you want me to tell you my Western Conference teams first? Or
Should we do, because there's 15 teams. So let's do 1 through 5, and then
I love that. 5 at a time.
We'll do 5. So give me your top 5, and then I'll give you mine, and then we'll yap about it.
Okay,
like we do best.
Okay, so I need to show you guys. I don't know if you can see, I crossed out my Western Conference standings so many times. I literally redid it 3 times because I just had no idea where to put a lot of
Luckily,
teams.
I'm on my laptop, so I was just able to kind of copy and paste things around.
Yes.
But I also did it.
But I think I'm decently confident in my top 5 minus my 5 seed. My 5 seed I think is a little ambitious.
Mine I think is a little ambitious. So let's hear it.
Okay, so I have OKC as my 1 seed, Mavs as 2, Nuggets as 3, and then I have the Wolves as 4 and the Kings as 5.
Ooh,
Yes,
I have OKC at 1. I hate this. I hate that it's a resounding. Okay, anyway. I have the Timberwolves at 2, the Nuggets at 3, the Mavs at 4, and the Grizzlies at 5. So my 5 seed, as we talked about, they might be a little ambitious. I think we can both agree with OKC at 1. They got Alex Caruso. They got Hartenstein. They
didn't lose a ton of people.
They had a really good offseason.
They had a fantastic offseason, and they were already the 1 seed last year, and you have players that are just going to continue getting better.
A young team that was the 1 seed, and they I just don't think they've reached their ceiling yet, which sucks.
And they added a couple. I mean, I know that they're a really young team, but they did add a couple of
key pieces that they needed,
and a couple of veteran players too, in Alex Caruso and Hartenstein, and so I feel like.
And some experience in those two.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And like this was their first year. Obviously, they didn't have an impeccable year in the playoffs, but this was their first year seeing like the playoffs with this team. You know, a lot of these boys are seeing the playoffs for the first time this past year. And obviously, they swept the Pelicans round 1. Which was awesome for them. And then they got to round 2, and it became a little bit harder for them, which is
young team.
Yeah, young team. And they played the Mavs, I think, in round 2. And they, they did what they could, but
you lost to a team that went to the finals, so it's not too painful.
Nope. And like I said, I think they got a little bit better, and they just still have some of the best players currently in the NBA right now, or some of like the best up and coming players too. And they just got deeper.
Yeah.
And benches are so important, as we have talked about in the past. So OKC is still number 1 for me.
Yeah, I know you put Mavs at 2.
Yeah.
I only put them at the 4. And I'm going to say this right now. The Nuggets may be overly optimistic. I have on my notes. I'm playing safe. It's if Jamal's Jamal. And this is also, who knows if we'll have him by the time that this is posted, but hoping that we have Russell. But if we don't fix having like a backup point guard, and if we don't have any backups for Jokic, it's, it depends on what we're doing with Saric. There's a lot of moving pieces that might change. So that's why I have them at 3. The reason I put the Mavs at 4 was just because of defense concerns. Yeah. They could be, my top 4, or at least 2 through 4, I kind of think are interchangeable, hopefully.
I think that a lot. I think 2 through 12 are.
Yeah, I think a lot. I think so much is interchangeable in the Western Conference. Yeah. So it's a lot of this is contingent on players.
I added, and see, so for you, with Mavs and defense and everything like that, the only reason that I put the Mavs at 2 is because I feel like we only got to see a couple months of them with PJ Washington
with
and Daniel
their other
Gafford.
pieces. This is true.
Yeah, and so I feel like getting to see them a whole season, because Gaff and PJ Washington are both decent defensive pieces.
Yeah.
And so you are adding a little bit of defense with them. And I know that Clay's not known for his defense or anything like that, but as he has slipped offensively over the years, he's also started to work a little bit on defense. And so I think that he'll work hard. And Luka, I almost said Jokic. Luka, he made a really big.
He does not play defense. No.
Listen.
Don't even hate me. Okay. Luka does not play defense.
But, which I'm not disagreeing with necessarily, but I think that from the first game of the 23-24 season to the last game, his defensive just efforts, not even that he was incredible, but he went from just standing around staring at the beginning of the season to actually truly to really putting forth effort once they kind of got down to the end of the season and the playoffs and everything. And so I think even with him just putting in any amount of effort, it's better than nothing.
Do you think maybe part of the reason he's bad at defense or doesn't play defense is because he's too busy complaining about calls on the other end?
Duh.
That was so mean. I'm so sorry, Luka. I really do like you, but you really need to chill.
No, okay. And you know what? I think that Luka is identical to Jokic in that standpoint. I think.
What do you mean?
Jokic used to be the complainer when he was super young. Jokic used to be the complainer. Jokic used to fight every call. But at some point, you have to recognize that you're not going to get every call. And I think Jokic started recognizing that. Jokic has scars and blood dripping down from him.
The call is over. That's my thing. Yeah. And we talked about this in episode 2. When you can't go back in time. So it's already over, and you're just hurting your team by not getting back and helping them
Exactly. And so
on
I
the
think
other
as Jokic matured a little bit and kind of got into like the most recent years,
grew up.
I think that's when the Nuggets really made a really big leap, was when their leader kind of made that maturity leap.
Yeah.
And stopped complaining about those calls and was like, you know what? I'm not going to get every call. They're not going to call me fair. They're not going to call, make calls for me fairly. And so we just got to get back on defense and we got to start playing. And once he really grew into that, I think they really took a big leap. And I think Luka needs to make that leap. I think he needs to drop the complaining about every single call. I think there's a lot of players that need to do that, but I think that would really benefit his team.
Yeah, I have the Timberwolves at 2 just because, they have amazing defense. I don't know.
Lose anyone.
I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, nothing's really changed for them. Yeah. So I didn't want to, they didn't really get worse and they didn't really get better. They, amazing defense.
Yep.
Ant was, they just have amazing people on their team.
Yeah.
So who knows? Ant was probably continuing to get better. So I have them at the 2. But yeah, again, for me, it really depends on the Mavs defense this year because they have a lot of, young guys that they just got. And Lively will be in his sophomore season and he was outstanding.
He'll take a big leap this year.
So I'm sure he will even take a leap. So again, we were debating a lot of things. And then I put the Grizzlies at 5 because guess who's back, baby? Or who's gonna be back, baby? Mother effing Morant, ladies and gentlemen.
He's one of my favorite players to watch. I'm so excited.
I hope he's back and he's healthy. I worry about him because he does play a little recklessly because he's skinny and he jumps really high.
He's really athletic.
He's really athletic, but the way he jumps, it's like one of those things when you watch a player and you're like, oh, please come down right. Yeah. So I always joke that Jokic is kind of good because he doesn't jump because it's less opportunity to land. It's definitely you lose opportunity of landing, and tearing things. Yeah. So that is one thing that worries me about Ja. He plays a little recklessly, so I hope he can rein it in so he can stay healthy and not injured.
Yes.
And then, they have Marcus Smart. If Ryan's watching this, we love Marcus Smart.
Big Marcus Smart fan.
Big Marcus Smart fan. There were talks that Denver might try and get him, and I really wanted him
but
earlier in the season, not in the offseason. And then they have Zach Edey.
Yep, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Those two. Gosh. They'll be so good
and Desmond
together.
Bane. They have so many pieces.
With Zach Edey, between Zach Edey and Jaren Jackson Jr., they are going to have rebounds up the a-hole. They are going to have blocks.
The blocks.
Yeah. You're going to have 2 monster, tall, defensive, strong players at the rim.
Yes.
With Ja Morant as your freaking point guard. It's going to be beautiful. I think that maybe 5 is a little...
It's ambitious. It's okay? Ambitious, yeah. But the year that the Nuggets were the 1 seed and went on to win a championship, they were ranked number 2. So it is funny when Ja played 2 games before he got injured this year. Yeah. It seems that all their problems get solved. And I think we were talking about this. They did go undefeated with Ja Morant for that little stretch. For that little baby stretch.
Once he came back.
So please, Ja, stop doing stupid things that get you suspended. I'm begging. And stop playing silly and don't get hurt, please. I'm begging.
We love you.
We love you. And I'm sorry. I love the Nuggets, but the Grizzlies are my number 2 team now.
We love people having number 2 teams.
Yeah.
I have 5.
So I'm just really excited for this Grizzlies team. I can't wait to watch them. Ooh, I'm going to eat it up so much.
Yep. And for my number 5 team, mine I think is also pretty ambitious too. My number 5 team is the Kings. It is. Obviously with losing Harrison Barnes and Chris Duarte, I don't think that that's anything too crazy. Harrison Barnes was good for them in big moments, which is great, but I don't think that he was
a necessity. Maker.
No, I don't think he was a necessity to the team. And I think when you add someone like DeMar DeRozan, he changes up their offense a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I think with his athleticism and just how he is as a player, Mike Brown is going to have a field day with that.
Oh yeah.
And Mike Brown as a coach is someone who he expects greatness.
And DeMar is a good is a player who wants to come in and learn the system. So he's not James Harden who is the system.
I'm sorry, James Harden. Are you the system or are you the problem, honey?
Womp womp.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. That was the meanest thing I'll say. I'm sorry.
So we can like keep going because I do have the Kings at 6 for a lot of the reasons They have Keegan Murray, great person, Malik Monk. Yeah, they have so many good pieces. So I do think they're gonna elevate a little bit. So which is why I put them at 6. So
I think that the Kings are gonna, with DeMar DeRozan and with the way that like their 3-point shooting and their offense kind of worked for them last year. It wasn't obviously fantastic. And so I think with the way that looked last year and adding DeMar DeRozan, I think that the Kings are going to have a lot of fun, like kind of changing up their offense. I think you're going to see even a little bit more Domantas Sabonis. You'll see a lot of DeMar DeRozan with the ball. Keegan Murray, he's a fantastic 3-point shooter. Yes, Murray. He should be the one shooting threes. Yeah. They should let him do that.
Just him.
Yes,
I think when he played us, I think he made literally every single 3-pointer he shot or something because everyone seems to turn into Steph Curry when they play us. Sometimes it felt like this last season.
Yeah, I just think that they're a good team that's gonna do a little bit better this year than they did last year.
I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. It's gonna be good.
Give me your 6 through 10, man.
I'm gonna give it to you, baby. So we already. It's gonna be really bad. So we already just talked about the Kings. So I had Kings at 6. I have the Pelicans at 7. I have the Spurs at number 8, leaping from the 15.
I don't hate it.
I have the Phoenix Suns at 9 with the note IDK.
Smart
note.
The
Lakers at 10. Is that, or are we going to 11? Sorry. I have the Los Angeles Lakers at 10, and I have the Golden State Warriors at 11.
That's rude.
Sorry.
It's okay. You know what?
I struggled. This was hard.
Yes, I was going to say starting here, I need you all to know that this is where my IQ comment comes into play.
Please do not be mean. We will cry. This is literally, we were just having fun, okay? So let us have fun.
Hard.
And again, this is our show. So if we sound stupid, that's okay because it's ours.
Go team.
Go team.
Okay, so this one I actually hate. Okay, I hate what I'm about to tell you. For my 6th seed, I have the Suns, and I actually didn't want them there, but I needed a place to put them, so I just put them here because...
So you gave them a better spot than they should have?
Well, yeah, I didn't know who else to give a better spot.
True.
It was so hard, and so... I put the Suns at 6, and I was like, you know what? Like, I hate it, but they do have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant.
I don't hate that. I love it. I just hate it.
Yeah. They have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. We saw that threesome just a tiny bit, and they weren't the most awesome. But I think if we have like the 3 of them healthy, they'll be great together. I just don't think that they're gonna put a lot out there. I have the Warriors at 7, and the reason that I put them at 7, I know that seems like a little bit crazy. I think they were the 9 or 10 seed last year.
A little silly.
Yeah, it is a little silly, but what I really like is with the guys that they've gotten in the offseason, like Buddy Hield, you have the second best 3-point shooter in like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I love you, Klay Thompson. You were injured 2 of those years, so that's the only reason that it's a thing. But he's a fantastic 3-point shooter, so I think like having someone like him next to Steph and someone that kind of fits into the system that the Warriors know and love is going to be great. They added D'Anthony Melton, which is awesome for defense. And
they got slow-mo.
Yeah, they got slow-mo Kyle Anderson, who solves the quadratic formula before he shoots a basket.
You know what's so funny is I never really paid attention to him ever as a player.
Really?
And then I was like, why do they keep calling this guy slow-mo when I watch?
And you watch him for like 2 seconds. Yeah,
and the first play I watched him, there's something wrong with my TV?
Straight up. Yeah, he's slow.
He really is. And when people make fun of players for certain things, but it's over exaggerated. Oh, baby, that was
he's
not
good. Yeah, it's great.
Slow.
But
take
with
his sweet time.
Yeah, with those 3 pieces though, like I think you add it around someone like Steph and Draymond, who are both amazing basketball minds, and they're keeping Jonathan Kuminga at this point, who made a gigantic leap, was their second best scorer last year, or almost their second best scorer last year. And he's such a fantastic athletic player. And I think with all of those pieces and putting other really good basketball minds and other like decent veterans, it deepens their bench quite a bit. And I think that gives the Warriors a little bit better of a chance than they had last year. They obviously had a deep bench last year. but I think that they switched out some of their good bench pieces with even better bench pieces. So that's why I have them at 7. I have the Lakers at 8, and I don't even really like that. I was actually going to put the Lakers a little bit lower, but I just think that I don't even know what to say about the Lakers. Truly, I've got nothing. I have them at 8. I think they'll probably make the play-in again. Grizzlies, I actually have at 9 for similar reasons. I don't think that
Boo. Tomato.
I don't think that they're gonna like jump to the 1 seed, but
What?
but I do think that they are gonna make a good leap this year. If Ja Morant comes back healthy and is able to stay.
Contingencies.
Yes. If he's able
Contingencies.
If he's able to just like, play all season, then I think that helps his team.
Yeah, not do stupid things on social media. I don't know.
He's a fantastic basketball player, and according to his team, is an amazing teammate and an incredible
He's one of
leader.
those guys I just love to watch.
Yes.
I just love.
Me too. And so I think having him back and putting him back next to Jaren Jackson Jr. and all those other pieces that we talked about
Shouldn't make them as low as you put them, but that's okay.
Hey, play-in team. Everyone's a play-in team in the Western.
Man.
Okay, so I have Grizzlies at 9. Going back to my hot take, if you guys watched a couple weeks ago, I do have the Blazers at 10. I truly don't love it. I don't feel confident in it, but I do believe that if Rob Williams comes back healthy and they have someone like Donovan Clingan and you get these pieces like Denny, who, like I said, made a really big leap last year, I think he's going to continue to get better. Mm-hmm. And I just think that like with all of the pieces,
a lot of, the West is just
and I think with like all of the pieces. I don't think that they'll make the playoffs, but I do think that they can hit the 10 seed if contingent upon how the other teams
regulate the East.
Yeah, literally. And then I put if we're going to 11, I put the Clippers at 11. I didn't like this one either, but I just think the Clippers have done
mean to the Clippers all
yeah. I just I don't think that they really did a lot. You lose Paul George and you're losing Russell Westbrook probably.
Losers.
Yeah, you lose not only do you lose 2 really great players, like you're the leader of your bench and one of the leaders of your starting 5 and
Kawhi's
your team in
never
general.
healthy. And
Yeah.
James Harden is James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden likes to literally think that he is the system. And so,
he never won a ring. Are you really the system? If you're not a winner,
yep. And
you're
so,
a system of a loser.
He's a hot topic in the NBA. But he just, with the Clippers, I just think that they lost 2 fantastic team leader veteran presences. Yeah, I think that's how you say that word. But they lost 2 huge pieces to their team, and they haven't really gained much or anything from it. And then they're like we talked about in episode 1. That's what I'm saying. Like we talked about in episode 1, they're just kind of paying out the ass for these guys, and so they don't have a lot of money to retool this team.
Yeah.
After losing 2 of their biggest pieces.
I'm just gonna tell you why. So we already talked about the Kings. I have Pelicans at 7. Who knows? They have great defense, top defense. Herb Jones, Zion, DeJounte Murray. This is, again, contingent on if this really is a really good fit for the team, and I think it will be. I think he's a great facilitator.
I agree.
It's a good move for CJ McCollum to be able to move over to shooting guard. Again, I don't know if they're keeping Brandon Ingram, so Pelicans are kind of
been shopping him, yeah.
Pelicans are kind of a question mark, but I do think, if Zion remains to be super athletic as he usually is. So I think if Zion comes back and, has been doing, his work over the summer, I think it could be interesting. I put the Spurs, which is crazy because they were, at the bottom.
Like I said, I don't hate that choice.
Thank you. Sophomore year Wemby.
Yep.
CP3.
Yeah.
Stephon Castle, who already had a really good debut in the Summer League. Again, I know it's Summer League. Don't shit on me. Yeah. Harrison Barnes for some outside shooting next to Jeremy. Sohan.
Something like that.
Sokin. Sorry, Jeremy.
Sorry.
I just think obviously Wemby's only going to get better, and
he's insane.
I'm excited for them.
I can't wait to watch Wemby forever, by the way.
Yeah, the Spurs are a winning organization. Greg Popovich is a winner, and I think it's going to be an interesting season for them.
I agree.
I put the Phoenix Suns with an I don't know at number 9 because again, I just didn't know where to put them because you do have Devin Booker, but Kevin Durant is kind of injured. I don't know. He's not playing right now in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
I'm correct.
He's like
Bradley Beal might be back. I don't know. Your super three is always super injured. So
Straight up.
I don't know. And then they, sold everything to get these guys and they didn't really make them the champions they thought they were going to be. It's really awkward.
Yeah, all they did was keep Grayson Allen like on top of their big three. They kept Grayson Allen and they just re-signed Josh Okogie. And I think other than that, starting five or whatever, or like other than those five guys, like they just don't really have a bench at all.
Again, the West is just so, I don't know what to do at the end. So the Lakers are at 10 because what can you do? They have Bronny now. So they're probably, maybe I should have put them higher.
Yeah. And I think that's actually why I put the Lakers at 8 is because not because of Bronny, but any team that has LeBron James and AD together.
Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. I kind of didn't want to put them that low, but there's so many good pieces and teams that might have gotten a lot better. So the Lakers, they got Dalton Connect in the draft, who might be a really good sixth man for them this year. Anthony Davis is amazing. And LeBron is amazing. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? I'm sorry I put your Warriors at 11. Don't hate me.
Ow.
I don't.
Hurts.
You have Steph Curry, and I love Steph Curry, but I don't know. What were they, 10 this year?
Yes. 9?
10? I think it was.
They might have been. No, you were right. They were 10.
Let's see.
Yeah, because it was between them
10.
and the Rockets. Yeah.
So I just don't know. They did get some pieces, but they did lose Clay. I mean, obviously, like Clay wasn't their everything this season, but so they're a question mark for me. A lot of these teams that I have, which is why we keep prefacing this. I put my last ones. All right, Portland Trailblazers at 12. Yeah. Los Angeles Clippers at 13, Utah Jazz at 14, and the Rockets at 15. The Trailblazers, you have at 10, right? Or 8 or 10.
Something? Yeah.
I don't know.
I have them hitting the play, and that's it.
I know. They have Scoot. They have DeAndre Ayton, Denny, Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons, Shaden Sharp. So they've got
a good group.
They have a good group. It's just another question mark for me.
Chauncey Billups.
This is really
Get on it.
This is really hard. The Clippers lost everyone because they're losers.
Yep.
And I don't like James Harden. So again, it's funny. They, spent all this money to get their super team and then everyone left. And now it's just an injured Kawhi Leonard and good old James Harden. So I think they're screwed because I don't think they got anyone. With the Utah Jazz, I don't know what they're doing. They've been shopping Laurie, Jordan Clarkson. I wish he was a Denver Nugget, but he's not. But I don't know. Who knows?
I literally rumors of Jordan Clarkson going everywhere forever.
I have literally who knows because who knows what the Jazz are doing.
Straight up.
But what they usually do is beat the Denver Nuggets when we're in Utah for whatever reason. Ouch, boo. And then I have Houston Rockets at last. I have the Houston Rockets at 15 because I don't know, and I think they're going to be bad. They have Alperen Şengün for now, and Jalen Green, who isn't always the most consistent. He wasn't so good in the beginning of the year and then got a little bit better at the end of the year. So I guess it's kind of dependent on him. I don't know about the last people. It's really hard to rank these teams.
Yeah, you really never know where they're going to fall.
I don't know. Sorry. Who are in your last place?
Mine is like kind of similar, but not really. I have the Spurs at 12, but like I don't hate them anywhere between like 12 and 8 because really towards the end of the season, they started becoming so competitive and like Wemby really started to figure it out. I think with a point guard like Chris Paul next to Wemby, you're not going to have the problem of like Wemby not being passed to and things like that. Like I think you're really going to see Wemby with the ball a lot more, and he really is just such a fantastic player. And with him playing in the Olympics this summer, he's obviously getting a lot of competing in, and then he gets to start the regular season or preseason and have a vet point guard. So I think that they'll be like 12. I have Pelicans at 13. I hate this choice. They're probably going to be like in the play-in. I truly, like I said, low IQ. Jazz and Rockets I have at 14 and 15. Just really same reasons. They didn't
really do anything this offseason. It's hard to put people who didn't do anything at a high, unless it was people like the Timberwolves, but people that already weren't ranked high and then they didn't do anything. So.
Yeah. Yes. And like all the other teams did do stuff. So I just feel like they'll both just kind of fall to the bottom. I know that the Rockets were kind of competing for that 10 spot towards the end of the season, but I've got them really doing nothing this year. And that's that. The Western Conference is really hard. I think it's going to be similar to next year. But the Eastern Conference, they started working a little bit. I think like at least
dare I say the Eastern
teams.
Conference might not be horrible next year.
At least like the top 7,
yes.
6 seats, 7, 8 seats.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, it might not be too bad. So I'll give you my 1 through 5. I have Boston Celtics. No shit. They're the reigning champs. They showed that they were a tier above everyone else in the conference this last season. So I think out of respect for the reigning champs, you have to put them at 1, just like people put the Nuggets at number 1. It's just what you got to do. Then I have the Nova Knicks at number 2. They got Mikal Bridges. It's the Knicks and the homies. And I just think that they've done a lot of good moves in this offseason. And I think everyone will be healthy. I think OG should be healthy this season. Mm-hmm. So I'm I think a team I'm really excited to see in the Eastern Conference. And then I have the 76ers at 3. They got PG, they got Caleb Martin, they got Eric Gordon, they got Andre Drummond. They were working a lot this offseason. Yeah. So I'm interested to see those pieces together. That's kind of, I'm interested to see how Embiid does with all these new players and if he's healthy. So it should be interesting. I could be very, very wrong. They could not work. But on paper, it looks like they've gotten some massive improvements.
I'm excited to see their team with PG too.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see PG on the team. And then I have the Bucks at 4. They signed DeLon Wright and Taurean Prince. Other than that, I don't think they did a lot of changing. So I think, Giannis was injured a little bit. There's so many injuries.
Yeah, in the playoffs. I think that was like the downfall of their playoffs.
So I don't really know. Both of those people that they got, they both play quality defense. And then DeLon Wright has pretty good ball handling. And then Taurean Prince adds some shooting. So who knows, I think, other people have done more moves that I kind of had to put them at 4. And then... and the Bucks are currently, just because I just love talking about them damn aprons. They are over the
aprons.
They are over the second apron by $4.4 million, and they're gonna have to solve that eventually. And then I put the Orlando Magic at 5. They've got Jalen Suggs. They have KCP now. Sad. And Paolo Banchero. Their team's pretty deep. They re-signed hella members of their team. Yeah. So I'm excited. They could be better than the Bucks. Who knows? I originally had them at 4, and then I felt like that was rude to Giannis. Ugh. So I don't know. The Bucks do have Thanasis Antetokounmpo, and who am I to count him out? So
I'm sorry. He's literally the Waterboy MVP. Okay.
Thanasis Antetokounmpo was my vote for MVP last year. If anyone follows me on Twitter, you all know how much I just think he is a star. So Orlando Magic, I'm really interested to see how KCP gels with the team. So again, because of all the trades, that's why it's hard for us to do all these standings, because it, all depends on how people fit in.
Yeah, with the teams and stuff.
Oh, so that's my top 5.
I love. Okay, I have a really similar top 5 actually. So I have the Celtics at 1. They re-signed everyone. And they just have such a good, deep team. They're very competitive, and I think they're going to continue being competitive. And I think that a lot of these Eastern Conference teams are working towards being competitive to compete with the Celtics.
They're trying.
Exactly. Yep. And that's kind of how I feel about the Knicks. So I have the Knicks at 2 as well. Same exact reasons, really. They're such a fantastic team. I'm really going to enjoy them. I'm sad that Hartenstein left, but with a healthy OG, I think that they're going to be fantastic. Getting Mikal Bridges.
They're shopping around for a replacement, so we'll see.
Exactly. And then I have Bucks at 3. I just think that if you have a healthy Giannis and you have Chris Middleton and everything like that, I think that you have a really good shot no matter what. It's like anyone with like these MVP candidates and stuff like that, you really can't count out. So I think that they're going to be great. They just haven't really done a lot this offseason and they obviously have Brooke Lopez, so that's always helpful too for defense. So I moved the 76ers up to 4 this year. I know that they were 7 last year, but I think adding PG and all the other pieces, and I think Tyrese Maxey just continues to get better. I don't know what's going to happen with Embiid. I know that he's playing in the Olympics. I really hope he does not injure himself in the Olympics.
Why?
Yeah, obviously you see that fat brace on his knee. I worry about his injury so much, but having a back...
Don't worry, he fouled out in like 12 minutes. So, he might not really be playing in the Olympics. Who knows?
Literally. Yeah, so like with them and with getting PG, I'm really excited to see how PG kind of fits in with their team. Like you said, they got Eric Gordon and everything like that. And I think that getting Andre Drummond to back up Embiid is a great choice. You just have a kind of similar player, but also like a good veteran center presence. And I think that he'll be great with them. I have the Magic at 5 as well.
Twins.
Yes, the Magic and the Cavs were 2 of my dark horse teams at the beginning of the season last year. I think that they will kind of fit in. I just have them switched. Cavs were 5 and Magic were 6 last year, and I actually have the Magic at 5 and Cavs at 6. I know that we're not. I
have the Cavs at 6 too.
Twins. Okay. I think that the Magic are going to be really good. I think that KCP is going to add a good level of defense. That championship pedigree.
He's won. Like he got rings on rings, baby.
Yes, I don't know. I just think he's fantastic. I think he's going to work in really well with the rest of the team. So I have them at 5. I'm excited to see how Paolo grows and how the rest of the team grows, especially with Franz and Mo Wagner. Yeah, I think that they're going to be great. So I'm excited for that.
I agree with you. So moving on down. I agreeing with you. I have the Cleveland Cavs at 6. Injuries harmed them in the playoffs also as well. I think their offense is kind of lacking. Their 3-point shooting is lacking. They need more output from people other than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Darius Garland needs to be who Darius Garland was
without Mitchell.
Without Mitchell
at the beginning of the season, everyone was kind of freaking out and like, oh my gosh, Darius Garland is insane. And then Donovan Mitchell came back and he was kind of a non-factor.
Yeah.
So if they can work that out, then I think they'll be at 6. Who knows? I have the Indiana Pacers at 7. I know that they knocked off the Bucks and the Knicks. Pacers, they had a fantastic playoff run. I think it was mainly because of injuries. And so I don't know about them. They have Tyrese Halliburton. They lost Buddy Hield, though, and I really loved Buddy Hield on that team. But they do have Pascal Siakam. So they've got some good pieces as well. They've got some good players. So we'll see. I think the Cavs and Pacers could be, switched. And then I think, the Pacers are a young team. I don't think they've reached their ceiling yet either. And, Siakam has a 4-year max deal. So
good for him. I really liked him with the Pacers.
I did too.
I liked that trade.
Yeah, I really liked that trade too. And then I have the Miami Heat at 8. Is Butler's turning 35? Is he returning? Is he going to be healthy? Who knows? Bam is incredible. Another Kentucky Wildcat. And they have Jaime Jaquez, who was another amazing rookie. So, of course, he's only going to get better, I'm sure.
We talked about this, I think, episode 1. I love young players coming on competitive championship teams, like championship contending teams.
And Eric Spoelstra is an amazing head coach.
Love watching him coach. And I just think that with someone like Jaime Jaquez, I love seeing him like go into a team with so many good veterans, like a team that's been together for quite a while, at least like those 3.
Yeah.
And just like seeing him like fit right in and crush it.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of question marks with me. And then you know what? Because all of these teams are so bad at the end, I'm just going to go ahead and go down the rest of my list because I don't have much on them. So I think the Atlanta Hawks are going to be ass. I have them at 9 because there are a lot of ass teams in the Eastern Conference. And so again, my ranks 9 through 15 could all be interchangeable. Who knows? The Atlanta Hawks lost DeJounte Murray, so now they just have Trae Young and they don't really have anyone else. I don't know. I put the Brooklyn Nets at 10 because they lost Mikal Bridges. Don't know what they're doing. I have the Wizards at 11 because again,
we love.
Yeah, they have, a bunch of new players, so we shall see. Really know, We don't really know. Question mark. The Pistons at 12, I don't think they're going to be as bad. I talked about this in, I think, episode 2, that Cade, is a wonderful player, and the Pistons to me weren't as bad as their ranking showed because they were so close. They went into overtime with the Celtics. They went into overtime with a couple teams, I believe. They had a chance. And so I don't know. The Raptors are at 13. The Hornets are at 14 and the Bulls are at 15. The Bulls lost DeMar DeRozan and they don't and Alex Caruso. So I'm actually comfortable with putting them in last place.
Straight up.
But yeah, so who knows? There's a lot of question marks with the ass section of the NBA. We'll let them figure it out. I won't be watching.
Straight up. Yep. All right. Well, if I'm going to do my last 10, ours are actually very similar for the last 10.
Slay.
Just like a couple switched in
We're
stuff.
so cute.
Cavs at 6 as well, which we talked about.
Yeah.
Same exact reasons. I think that they're a great team. I was having like a conversation with someone, a little bit of discourse. I think that the Cavs are like some dogs, and I say that in like a not like a gritty kind of way, but like they're just like they all hustle, they all work hard. They're all like a really good team that can be great.
Yeah,
and so I'm excited to see them this year. They just didn't really do too much this offseason. Pacers I have at 7. I love Tyrese Halliburton. I love the way that the Pacers played last year. I know that you said the injuries definitely had a just like a hand in their playoff experience and everything like that. Obviously, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, which I thought was incredible. I did not see them going that far. Not that far. No. I had them making it to like the second round and everything like that. But I was really excited to see them. Like I said, I love underdogs. I had a lot of fun watching them. And I think that they were actually the Celtics' hardest series, even though the Celtics swept them. I think that they gave the Celtics their 4 hardest games and their 4 hardest fought games.
Bold take, my dear.
It is. I don't know. I just like they all of the games were so close. One of the games went into like overtime, or a couple of them did, and it was just.
My opinion was they fought really well, and then I think it came down to when you're in the clutch and you kind of have those.
You have the Boston Celtics versus the Pacers in the clutch.
It's kind of hard for a really young team. They don't have the experience yet in those situations when you're in an Eastern Conference Finals and you're down by a couple points and you need to make the right choices, and it's a lot of choices that get you to the win. So they're young, inexperienced, but that was a bold take.
Thank you.
I liked it.
Thank you. Yay, go me. Yay. She said I was a good girl. Ew. At 8, I have the Heat, like you do, for the exact same reasons. Fantastic coach, great rookie who's going into his sophomore season. You have Bam, you have Jimmy Butler. I think that that's like always a recipe for success. Kyle Lowry just got re-signed
compared to the other teams.
Yes, exactly. I say success slightly. 9, I have Hawks. I actually hate this. I don't think the Hawks are gonna be 9, but I don't really know where to put the rest of these.
They're
teams.
all so bad. Yeah, like how we were talking about in the Western Conference.
Are there 6 tanking teams in the East?
How in the Western Conference the 12 seed could actually be good. In the Eastern Conference, the 9th seed is very, very bad still.
Yes, literally. That's exactly right. And so 9, I have the Hawks. Like I said, I just don't love this. They lose DeJounte Murray. They're not a fantastic team. I don't love Clint Capella as a player. I think that he's a pretty weak center.
Weak sauce.
Yeah.
Trae Young plays no defense.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't love it. Nets I have at 10. I do have them making the play-in. Although they did lose Mikal Bridges, I think that they gained Bojan Bogdanovic. And I think that seeing him on their team will be pretty telling, because also Mikal Bridges is no longer like the guy that they're trying to build around and trying to build an offense around. And so I think like the less that they're like focusing on this one player that might not be able to fully run an offense, I think that they'll be a little bit more free with their offense. Yeah. So that's why I put them at 10. Wizards I have at 11. I've already said I think that they gained a lot of really great pieces. I really like them this year.
A lot of these are contingencies,
Exactly. Yeah, I'm really excited to like see how their team meshes, especially with a couple of new vets and everything like that. Raptors, Scotty Barnes, get that poor man some help. He's a fantastic player, and I would really love to see a good team built around him. Pistons I have at 13. They just didn't really do too much, and I don't know. I think that they're going to be a little bit better than last year.
Another Cade and M. Yeah, because they ain't got. It's just Cade and no M. Too.
And then same. I have Bulls and Hornets at 14 and 15. I just think that they're both going to be assicle. And
sorry for the cursing, man. That's just the best words to describe them.
I don't think that they're going to be good at all.
No, regulate the Eastern Conference. I'll say it once and I'll say it again.
I would love to see like your guys', if you guys are watching this still, I would love to see like your top 4 from each, from like Western and Eastern, and kind of see what those look like. I'm really curious to see like what other people think, because I think the top 4 are pretty similar.
Yeah.
like in everyone's, but I'd really like to see what other people
So
think.
if you're still at the end of this video, you know what to do. You're
Tell us your top
amazing
4.
and we love you. But put that in the comments so that we know who actually likes us this much.
Yes, and if you are still here, we love you. Thank you. We do yap a lot. We talk a lot.
We love it.
And thanks for listening to us talk because you're the only reason that we're here talking.
Yeah. Follow us on all the socials. We'll have everything linked below.
Yes.
Subscribe
Yeah,
for more
like our
ew
stuff.
Like our stuff. Follow us on all
Tell
the
me
socials.
that you think I'm nice.
And pretty and beautiful and smart and lovely. Oh, wait, sorry. That's just what I think about Caitlin. But it's true.
I'll cry right now.
But we love you. We missed you. And we will be back next week.
We love you guys. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye.